Gender Discrimination in the Workplace, presented to you by Sienna Collins, Brianna Weber, Jeremy Clifton, and Ty Bennett. Trigger warning. This topic is reviewing specific issues that can be sensitive and harmful to some viewers. View at your discretion.
Our society is beginning to realize that mental health in the workforce is just as important as physical health. Poor mental health causes job performance and productivity to go down and also causes their social skills to weaken. Causes for mental health issues include poor management, poor working hours, limited control in the workplace, and poor health practices. Both men and women are bullied in the workforce, but the majority of the issues are with women.
Workplace bullying is a systematic negative treatment of an individual over an extended period of time, in situations where they have a difficulty to defend themselves against others. Traditionally, in the workplace, the only health risks were occupational health and safety risks. But there is a less obvious health issue circulating the workplace: mental health disorders. Issues with mental health in the workplace. Poor mental health and stress can negatively impact an employee's job performance and productivity, communication with coworkers, daily functioning, and even physical capabilities. There are many causes for mental illnesses in the workplace besides external factors. Risks to mental health can include poor management practices, low levels of support from coworkers, inflexible working hours, low control in one's area of work, and even poor health practice in the workplace. Are men bullied in the workplace? Although women have higher overall rates of depression, it is frequently unrecognized, undiagnosed, and untreated among men. As men work in mental health, a systematic review of depression in male-dominated industries and occupations states, men in the workplace are going unnoticed every day for their mental health. As male-dominant or occupations with over 70% are male, have been studied that men can be diagnosed with mental illnesses as it ranged from 0% to 28% in 20 studies. The table below also gives more information about other countries along with their statistics in male depression. How can we help the male-dominant workplaces reduce mental illnesses for their employees? Male-dominant industries are particularly problematic for the male mental illness, mainly industries that include isolated work, excessive or irregular work, poor health conditions, lack of control or regulation, and monotonous tasks. 1. Management that notices poor conditions, lack of control, and irregular work schedule hours in isolation with employees. Management can use all of these that they've noticed to do team exercises in the workplace, creating less isolation, new regulations and rules to maintain order, as well as an HR that maintains the order as well, a regular schedule with consideration of employees' work hours wanted, tasks that are within their job description, or proper training for unfamiliar tasks. Are women susceptible to being bullied in the workplace? Women in the workplace are more likely to report being bullied and discriminated against along with their mental health than a man is. Article, Gender Matters, Workplace Bullying, Gender and Mental Health, Frontiers in Psychology states, quote, the results showed a slightly higher tendency for women to self-label as bullied, 8% versus 6%, while a higher proportion of men than women could be labeled as bullied based on the negative acts they had been exposed to, 21% versus 14%, end quote. Women are susceptible to bullying as the description gender stereotypes women do not have what it takes to be in a male workplace. This causes women who stray from the traditional workplaces to be more disproportionately targeted for bullying in the workplace. Discrimination based on gender overall. In certain situations, the one with the higher power will try to maintain the inequality by either discriminating more or less using negative actions against the weaker one. As Salin states in Gender Matters, Workplace Bullying, Gender and Mental Health, quote, previous research has shown that in line with social power theory, both women and ethnic minority members who tend to have both lower power and occupy lower positions in the organizational hierarchy may feel more intimidated and stressed by negative acts of work, end quote. Quote, in the late 1980s, the Supreme Court interpreted Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 to include discrimination based on sex. As sexual harassment in the workplace, the law recognizing sexual harassment as a form of sex discrimination applies to private employers with 15 or more employees, as well as government and labor organizations, end quote, as Tyrus explains in Sexual Harassment in the Workplace. Gender discrimination causes multiple issues such as limits access to health care, lowers life expectancy rates, and increases rates of illness. Negative outcomes from bullying by gender discrimination in the workplace. Women. Women are more likely to develop more emotional issues such as depression or anxiety. Sexual harassment, internalized emotions that lead to withdrawal, loneliness, and depression. Men. Men are most likely to develop substance abuse and antisocial issues. Sexual harassment, aggressiveness, impulsive decisions and actions, become forceful, and start participating in non-compliant behaviors. Others susceptible to bullying in the workplace and are likely to experience these outcomes as well. Minorities, those with different or unusual religious beliefs and practices, those who are viewed to be in a lower position by the higher management, those with disabilities or unusual circumstances where they receive possible different treatment. How to file a job discrimination complaint and where to file. Where to file a discrimination complaint. A job discrimination complaint may be filed by mail or in person at the nearest EEOC office. You can find the closest EEOC office by calling the EEOC at 1-800-669-4000 or by going to the EEOC's website. You can also go to the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission at the link below to file a report on employers for discrimination based on age, gender, disability, pregnancy, race, national origin, genetic information, and more. You can also file complaints about the employer or the employee's work environment based on sexual harassment, equal compensation, religious beliefs or practices, sexual practices, and anything that is not work-related or necessary to the operation of business. How to file a discrimination complaint. You will need the following below: name, address, and telephone number of the person who is being treated in an unfair manner. The name, address, and telephone number of the employer who the complaint is being filed against. And then you'll need a short description of the event that is believed to be unfair or harassing, as well as the dates that they occur on. These are the sources used during this project.